Off we go. Week 14 of On Top the Cage. 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points. Week 14 headed down the stretch of the National Football League season.
5 more games in the regular season. College football is pretty much over, with the exception of Army-Navy.
Yeah, the pageantry of Army-Navy is the only thing we got on Saturday. Boy, we'll get it. Well, I'm sure we'll talk at some point in time about the college football rankings and how it all shook out and things like that. But yeah, wild weekend, past weekend of college football. But yeah, I'm missing it already for sure. Dan got into it right away. So we had a slow weekend around here. First time that we didn't have any visitors. That won't last long, but that's all well and good. We didn't do a whole lot. Katie and I did a little bit of preparation for next weekend, which is the Zarusin family Christmas holiday throwdown, as I called in Indianapolis. So we got a big crew going. We got 7 of us. All 4 of the boys, Katie, myself, my oldest son Connor's girlfriend Bree. And we have
taking 2 vehicles again?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, 100%. I'm not renting a transit van for that shit. But anyway, we have this gift exchange, which is very competitive, and it's like $30 gifts. So Katie and I went on the hunt for those on Saturday. That was our big event out. We don't leave the garage too terribly much, but I suppose that was the highlight of the weekend.
I'd ask what you got, but I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the surprise. There's always a bunch of liquor gets involved. We got a couple of good ones, I think. A couple of good ones I found on some good deals, I think. So anyway, we had the neighbors over, like Mike. Mike came over from next door on Thursday. We had my neighbor across the street, Pat, and his lady friend, Ev. They showed up on Saturday for a bit. People get attracted to the garage. I know you can't see a whole lot of it necessarily in the background here, but when you're on the street, it's pretty lit up with Christmas colors and things like that. It attracts people. People just randomly come up and have drinks. So that was kind of our weekend.
I would stop by if I didn't know what was going on.
Right. We could have some interruptions tonight. My wife is at the neighborhood holiday ladies Christmas exchange. It used to be an ornament exchange, but now they kind of up their game. I think it's $20 presents that they pass around and steal and things like that. So
yeah, but why are they doing it on a Wednesday?
I don't know why they're doing it on a Wednesday.
Have they always done it on a Wednesday?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. It's always during the week. It's never on a weekend. I know that much. So we'll see. The dog, who knows what the hell happens tonight. All the dogs are out here. They're out in the front yard waiting for my wife to come back. They love her like crazy. Who knows if they come in here? God knows. The set could go down for all I know. So we'll see how that happens. We could have some difficulties tonight, but that's where we're at with everything. You ready to do beer review, Dan?
Yes, sir.
All right.
How do you say that? Verde?
I think so. This is not a Christmas beer. I tell you what, our show's been running for 4 years now. It's become a struggle to find Christmas beers, but Dan, what are the 2 primary colors for the Christmas season?
Red and green.
Yes, sir. It fits, man. It's a green can presentation. And the other reason why I picked it is because my buddy to the left here, he likes sour beers, tart beers. It's a Goso, which automatically is some sort of tart or sour to it. So hopefully you like it.
Tomatillo, cilantro, lime, and salt.
Sounds like a summer beer, right?
Yeah, it totally does. But why not? 5.1% alcohol.
That's below wheelhouse. This is easy.
Good, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Oh, I'll talk about that in a second. I hope they're not frozen. I pulled them out early. I guarantee Dan likes it. I guarantee it. It's very summery, I'm sure, but it's got some sour tart to it.
It's not that sour.
No? Uh-oh. He might be panning it.
I don't know. It kind of tastes like a flat Sprite.
Oh, shit. Maybe it's old. Yeah, that's not a bad description. I taste the sour in it.
Yeah, no, you taste the sour, but it's not pucker your lips. You know, it's not that pucker sour.
No. We're going to be going into some heavier beers coming up here soon. We'll get to some stouts, too, which is that season. Winter season is stout season. Speaking of that, my brother-in-law, Grant, and his family is going to come up here right before Christmas. I think right after we get back from Indianapolis.
Is he going to be on the show?
I don't know. He's only here, like, briefly, a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. I know he likes stouts, so I'll make sure I have some in the fridge here, some leftovers from when Dan and I do the beer reviews. How was your weekend, though?
The crew won, baby. It was fantastic.
Highlight. And they played Saturday, right, Dan?
Yes.
That's traditional date night for you. How did you manage to finagle your way out of that?
My wife wasn't feeling well.
What'd you do? Did you do something?
No, I did nothing. I did not even tell her the game was on. I was just going to be like, okay, let's see what happens and play this by ear. And I said, what do you want to do tonight? And she's like, I don't feel like going out and drinking. I don't want to go to SRG, our normal hangout.
Right.
And I was
Sam's
like,
Royal Gardens.
As soon as she said that, I was like,
Dan's like, I'll tuck you in with some a bowl of soup and some hot tea.
I'm like,
I'm headed to the garage.
I said, well, hey, Eastern Conference Finals on the Cruise playing Cincinnati tonight, and she likes the Cruise, so she's like, oh, I'll watch that. And I'm like, all right, cool. And she's like, can we get carry out? And I'm like, sure.
That's perfect. That's like a guy's night out,
Whatever.
right? Guy's night in, if you will.
Yeah.
Wait,
We ended up not even getting carry out
where did you watch the game?
in my house.
Inside?
Oh,
What's
I had
going
it on
on
in the garage and in the house. No, I was going back and forth.
It's
Because I
cold.
didn't want to leave her alone.
Right,
'Cause,
I
you know,
understand. I understand those
It was technically date
spousal
night.
duties. Right, yeah, I understand all that.
But no, when the game started, it was warm.
yeah, but
Because even she was outside when it started. We were out in the garage
Yeah.
watching it. But then it did get cooled off. And I had my shorts on still. And I had been outside all day because that's when I put up the exterior illumination. In
oh,
my
we
house.
up, we up,
I'm
right?
up, yeah.
we up, we lit.
Functioning, yep.
That's good. That's all good.
So I was ready to go for some couch time. But then when it went into extra time, I was like, holy shit, they had it. I knew they had it. I mean, based on the subs and the stupid red card,
And
I knew they had it.
and the stud player for Cincinnati who they were playing, he was not 100% by any means. He was really struggling with injury.
I don't give a
Acosta?
shit.
Oh no,
Yeah.
but he was, right? I mean, so all of that was in
I
the
think he
Cruise
was
favor.
lazy.
Shit, I don't know about all that. So,
Man.
anyway, happy St. Nicholas Day.
Oh, did you put candy and shit
My-
on the shoes?
My wife did no shoes. We do stockings. I think in the Western world, which we are, they refer to us as the Western world because I think it's a European tradition. It was shoes, but we do stockings here. I don't even know what happened. I didn't participate. The kids are getting older. I'm like, really? We're still doing St. Nicholas Day? But we did, apparently. So anyway, that happened. So, I don't know. You mentioned appointments. I ended up seeing your buddy Kenny Hudak on yesterday, Tuesday. I wasn't supposed to have a dental appointment. One of the kids couldn't make it. I got subbed in. I mean, dental appointment, fucking eye appointment, these neck appointments. Like, I can't stand doctors, and I've been there right and left. Like, it's been a
Nice.
bad medical year for me, I guess. I don't know, but my eyes
To go to the
checked out okay.
dentist, you should go twice a year. That doesn't count as a bad
Man,
medical
fucking
year.
bang around on your teeth, man.
Hey.
Hurt a bit. So anyway, and that'll happen this week, but not too much activity here, I guess. My dogs, they're out. They're literally. Did I mention this?
Yes.
They're sitting in a driveway waiting for my wife to come home. It's ridiculous. Dan, I talked to earlier, a little bit void of sports here because we're going to miss the college football season. What did you think of the college football rankings? Specifically, what did you think of FSU getting snubbed for Alabama?
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of BS in there.
I get it. I get both ways. Of
An
it.
SEC team needs to be in there. And
I don't think that's true, but
well, I mean, it's a moneymaker.
Do I think
Let's be
Alabama-
honest, that's a moneymaker. So FSU, yeah, they went undefeated. They're not in a great conference. Their quarterback got hurt. They won 2 games with backups.
they did.
That's fine.
It's,
I can see the point. Do you want to see a game where it's a boat race where Georgia and TCU of last year?
I know, right?
In that game, it was so awful.
I feel bad for the FSU kids. I certainly think Bama's a better team. I mean, it's the last year for 4 teams in the playoff. It's going to 12 next year, thankfully. And
But my issue,
really reared an ugly head this year. I mean, this was really difficult this year.
I mean, I think it comes down to Bama and Georgia.
Well, I mean,
That's
here's,
my. I mean,
here's the thing.
Georgia's only loss is to Bama, and somehow Bama makes it in.
You got undefeated teams, Dan. You got undefeated
Alabama's
teams.
not undefeated.
They're not,
they
but
lost to
but-
Texas.
But they beat Georgia, and Texas only loss was to Bama. And then Washington out of the Pac-12 is undefeated. Every year,
How long has the Pac-12 blown, and the Pac-12 all of a sudden it was great this year?
I get it. I mean, we really needed the 12-team tournament to start this year as opposed to next, because I think Georgia finished 6 or 7. My guess is Vegas has them as the betting favorite to win the national championship this year, even if they were in the 6 or 7 hole. If we had a 12
Georgia?
team, yeah, probably the betting favorite would be my guess.
I mean,
So
I don't watch Georgia that often. I mean, when they're on, and I might catch snippets of it. I'm not,
So
to me, they weren't as impressive as they've been in the past.
I understand. I mean,
But neither is Ohio State. They're just not. How about, Ohio State, McCord? I'm leaving.
right.
What's up with that?
Because they get paid. I mean, these guys. I mean, you get a couple $1 million. These kids who don't make it to be able to play on Sundays walk out of college multi-millionaires by changing schools. I mean, maybe they're not even unhappy where they're at, but they're like, okay, you're going to give me $2 million to come to your school? Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I don't like where college athletics is going. I don't like really what happened on Saturday with the selection Sunday, but I 100% get it. And I mean, it would be a wild race if we had 12 teams this year. So we spent a lot of time on this. So
Yeah.
anyway. All right, on to professional football. Last week's record, Dan, great week, 9-4. He has improved his record on the season to 103, 86-4. That is 17 plus, and he squared his elephant picks. Finally, he was digging out that hole forever. He was on Miami; they were runaway winners. He squared it 6-6
They had the Ferrari out.
for the year. They did. Ferrari came out of the garage on the road. I was positive. Oh fudge! I forgot to put the shots on the table.
No,
Anyway,
we can fix that.
oh shit! Dan's gonna do it. Liquor 43. Heavy cream, Dan's going to be doing that. I went 7-6, just above 500 for the week. I wish it was better. I'm 101, 88-4 on the year. That's 13 plus. I also hit my elephant pick with the Houston Texans. I am 7-5-1 on the season on that. So as Dan pours this, I think I'm ready. That's heavy, Dan. I'm ready to introduce the Thursday night football game. And I mentioned St. Nicholas Day earlier. Talk about coal in your fucking stocking for Thursday night football. It's the New England Patriots traveling to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are 6-point favorites in this game. New England 2-10 on the season. The Steelers are 7-5.
Who the hell's going to be the quarterback in this game?
It's going to be
For either team.
It's on the board, and it's going to Bailey Zappi is going to be the starter for the New England Patriots, and I want to talk about them first. I keep looking at Dan. I should be looking at the camera. They have a kid out of Louisville, the University of Louisville last year, named Malik Cunningham, who I think deserves a shot to play quarterback for that football team. It's obviously going nowhere. They should be tanking anyway. Let this kid see what he can do. I mean, I know Lamar Jackson went to Louisville as well. So he's in that mold, a type of thing. And I don't think anybody thought that Lamar Jackson was going to become the quarterback in the National Football League that he has, but he's proven himself. I know Dan might interject because he's not a fan, but anyway, cheers to a great record last week. There we go. But I mean, they're an awful football team. Just to recap, they got shut out at home.
6-0. Freaking awful game.
It's a fucking baseball score. Baseball score with Verlander on the mound. I don't know if Verlander is a relevant pitcher or not these days. Hell, I don't know. Anyway, then the Steelers. The Steelers with a really bad home loss against the Arizona Cardinals.
That game was so bad between the rain and the delays, or the thunder.
Yeah, it lasted forever.
It's December. When was the last time?
Thunderstorm, lightning, right?
Or
That's not so
delayed
bad.
because of a thunderstorm.
Not supposed to happen in December.
What?
I know that much. Yeah, we have wild weather here. We're probably right at the freezing point. I guess we're right around 32 right now. It'd be temperature-wise. It's chilly.
It's 36 when I pulled in.
Might as well do this like somewhat become a staple. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 31 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, 31.
31.
Expect a low of 31 degrees.
She's going to talk for a bit.
That's
She
so
always
low.
does. And there's a log jam. I mentioned the Steelers are 7-5 on the season. There's a log jam for these wild card spots. There's 4 AFC teams that have that 7-5 record based upon tiebreakers. Currently, if the tournament started today, the Steelers are somehow the 5 seed. Also, news out of the Berg, if you will. Kenny Pickett injured his ankle. It
Had
looks like this
surgery.
is Mitch Trubisky's team going forward,
Yeah,
at least
I
until the playoffs.
Yeah.
I like
Micah
Mitch.
Fitzpatrick broke his hand.
Really, I didn't know that.
I don't know if he's going to play. They're decimated at linebacker. T.J. Watt was limping. Don't know what's going on with him. Who knows?
Steelers -6 in this game, Dan. I think
That's too big of a number for me in this game.
I think the
That's
over-under is like
problem.
fucking 30, which is the lowest over-under we've seen in, I think, decades in the National Football League. 30, Dan.
I think the Steelers win, but I don't know if it's going to be by a touchdown.
If the score ends up 17-14, somehow the game went over on total points. How crazy is that? So, I don't know. Ramondre Stevenson's hurt for New England too. Teams are banged up, man. I mean, this is a tough sport, and there's a battle of attrition and all this other good stuff. So, I don't know. Pittsburgh -6. You gonna lay it?
I got to go with New England.
I'm gonna take the-
It's to me that's too big of a number.
Me too. I don't know. I think Mitch Trubisky is as good a quarterback, or possibly better than Pickett. I really do. But if New England somehow gets a short field with a defensive play or a special teams touchdown, there's no way in hell the Steelers are covering this number. I think they probably squeak out of town with a win. But I think the safer play also is taking the points. We're both on the New England Patriots getting the 6 points. The Sunday 1 p.m. slate starts with a huge division game in that really bad NFC South. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling across state lines to Georgia to play the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are -2.5 in this game as the line goes. The Bucs 5-7 on the season. The Atlanta Falcons, who currently lead that really bad NFC South, have a 6-6 record. Tampa Bay 5-7. They come off of their home win against Carolina. It wasn't easy. They won the game by 3 points. These two teams are kind of like, if you ask me, mirror images of each other. They both play pretty good defense, and the offense struggles to score points.
Yep.
Every week. Every fucking week. Somebody has to win this division. Falcons -2.5, Dan.
I'm taking Atlanta just because they're the home team.
They are the home team. Maybe they put some sort of stranglehold on this division at 7-6. We're both on the Falcons -2.5. I think a sneaky good game next on the board that we're going to talk about. It's the LA Rams traveling all the way across the country to play the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are full touchdown favorites at -7. Rams are 6-6 on the season. The Ravens are 9-3. The Rams, they're one of these 4 teams at 6-6 in the NFC. They're battling for these last 2 playoff spots. They are tied for that last wild card spot and being in the tournament. They got a veteran quarterback with the Rams, and some young players that are really shining. I mean, Kyron Williams is the first one I want to talk about.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. I mean, he ran the ball well against us. That receiver, I can't believe he came back after halftime because what's his name?
Puka Nacua.
Yes, came down. I thought he had a shoulder injury because the way he landed on his elbow. But shit, he came back. I mean, the dude's good. Cooper Kupp.
This is a young guard, and they got to fit. Eventually, they got a veteran quarterback, and they got some young players who kind of believe, and they're in the mix. So, they're believers. Tis the season to be a believer. I really like the way Kyron Williams is running for that team. And then you got Baltimore. They come off we mentioned their win against Cleveland, and Cleveland couldn't stop them. But we'll wait to talk about your Cleveland Browns team when they come up on the board here in a few games. But and Baltimore, they come off a bye. They have a 2-game lead in your division: the Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals. They're a good football team. We know that. But here's the reason why I think the Baltimore Ravens are leading the division. They're the only team in that division that hasn't got bitten by the quarterback injury bug.
Oh yeah.
Lamar's been healthy all year.
Yeah.
Burrow, down.
We're on our
Deshaun
4th
Watson,
quarterback.
down.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, I don't know if it makes that much of a difference between him and True, but down. They've stayed healthy at the
Pickett's
key
been
position.
down more than once. He's had injuries. He's been playing with injuries.
They haven't lost it for a significant run like the other teams
No.
have. Baltimore -7, Dan, they're going to cover this number at home? I'm going to take the lead. I'm on the Rams. I think this is a sneaky good football team. I think the Rams believe. I know it's going to be cold in Baltimore, although our temperatures over the weekend aren't that. We
No,
have rain.
we're
We have
supposed to touch
fucking
50.
rain again on Sunday, like a lot of it, which is super annoying, but I guess it's better than snow. I don't know. I don't think it's going to
rain
be
here. It probably won't be raining there yet.
terribly cold in Baltimore, but anyway, I'm going to take the points of the Rams and think this is a sneaky good football game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams as well. Baltimore's going to stumble at least once here before the end of the year, and this is probably the game they do it.
So Dan and I are both betting on a pretty good football game. I don't know how it shakes, but we don't think it's going to be lopsided by any means. We're both on the Rams getting the points. Dan and I are in agreement on the first 3 games on the board. The next game on the board is the Detroit Lions traveling to play my Chicago Football Bears. Lions 3.5-point favorites in this football game. They are 9-3. They're going to win that NFC North. They are. The Chicago Bears are 4-8 on the season. Detroit comes off of that road win in New Orleans where they had a big lead, gave it up, and then won it again at the end.
Inconsistent play.
Yeah,
Drives me nuts.
Where's their defense? I mean,
Finish the game.
that might be a little bit of a theme, but the defense in Detroit is not playing at the same level that it was playing at earlier in the season. They continue
that
to
rings
give
a
up
bell.
points.
Sounds like another team I know.
We'll get to them in a minute. The Chicago Bears, they come off bye. They won previously to their bye in Minnesota. Their defense continues to get turnovers. Fields played pretty well. He turned the ball over a couple different times. Dan and I mentioned it last week, but they won the game at the end, which we haven't seen him do. It's all about Fields. I mean, the Bears are going to have two really high draft picks next year, and we'll see how Fields plays down the stretch. Dan, I think you said we have 5 games left. Is that right?
Yep.
Sample size for Fields, and the Bears are going to have to make a really, really, really difficult decision in regards to the quarterback. Lions minus 3.5 in this football game in Chicago.
Taking the Bears.
Dan always takes the Bears, so am I. They continue to play well. They've played well the last couple of weeks. And Detroit, I once again, show me, because their defense hasn't been great. We'll see. This is going to be, a tough-nosed football game. I like the points, too. I like it to be a field goal game. Hopefully it shakes the Bears' way. We're both on Chicago getting the 3.5. Next game on the board is the Indianapolis Colts traveling, an hour and a half by vehicle to Cincinnati. It's not very far.
Would they fly?
They got to be taking a bus. There's no way. It would take longer in and out of airports.
Yeah.
Literally, Dan, it's I think 110 miles or something like that, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
100 miles or so. It's all it is from Indianapolis to Cincinnati. Indianapolis 7-5 on the season. The Cincinnati Bengals are 6-6. Indy has been installed as a 1-point favorite on the road. And here's another battle of backup quarterbacks, because we talked about it, man. We're late in the season. It's hard to keep you guys healthy. It's a fucking tough sport, man. The Indianapolis Colts are currently the 7th seed based upon tiebreakers in the AFC. They're in. If the tournament started, there's Oakley. Come here, Oak. No, it'd be good. In any event, Indianapolis, they played backup quarterback all year. Their coaching staff's done a really good job. They won that game in Tennessee last week where they were down, and they won the game. They shoved it into overtime. They gave up. Tennessee got the ball. Tennessee got a field goal, and then Indianapolis went down and scored a touchdown. They won that game, a huge football game that they won. And you want to talk about winning a huge football game, though? Let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday night.
They look good. I mean, that Browning.
Jake Browning.
He looked good. I mean, he's hitting his receivers. They ran the ball well. I mean, they look. You couldn't tell that he wasn't the starting quarterback, in my opinion.
It's alive. We thought
they were playing a good team.
I mean, it's alive. We thought the Cincinnati Bengals were on the mat and dead. They're not. They're 6-6. That Browning kid threw for 350 fucking yards.
He was on fire.
I tell you what, I give a ton of credit to Zach Taylor, their head coach. I think that was a great game plan. I mean, there was some checkdowns, but then he took some shots too.
Yeah.
I mean, he was accurate. I was totally impressed by Jake Browning. And I'm a knock on your football team right now. When I was watching the Browns game in LA, I saw Deshaun Watson up in the fucking press box with his fucking girlfriend or some shit, right?
He's rehabbing out there. Yeah.
Okay. I saw Joe Burrow coaching the shit out of Jake Browning on the sideline, is what I saw. I mean,
no.
Well, I mean, I feel like that dude is disconnected, but we're not on the Browns. We're on the Bengals. I mean, this is a fun game, man. Indy -1, and it means a lot to both teams. I mean, a lot. I mean, Cincinnati's back in the mix in regards to getting a wild card. They're not going to win that division, but they square their record and they would hold the tiebreaker over Indy at that point in time. I mean, it's a huge football game, Dan.
I'm going to go with Indy on this one. I think that was lucky last week. If you shut down Cincinnati, take one thing away. Take the run game away. Make that kid throw to beat you. I mean, make them one-dimensional. I'm going with Indy.
Dan and I are odds for the first time on the board. I'm going to go with the legend of Jake Browning. I like them at home. I like that the fact that they're like, hey, maybe our season's not fucking over. Because, I mean, that was impressive what they did going into Jacksonville. Because you know that team's deflated. Like, okay, we don't have a quarterback. There's no way, type of thing. And they did it. I mean, I give it credit to that coaching staff, man, because they could have tanked easily or went with that defeatist mentality. They didn't. I love it. And they're home. They're in the jungle. I'm on the Bengals. Getting the 1 point at home to win this football game. Next game on the board. We just mentioned Jacksonville. They go to Dan's football team, come to town, play the Cleveland football Browns. The Browns are 3-point favorites in this game. Jacksonville's 8-4 on the season. The Cleveland Browns are 7-5. I'm not sure what happened on my phone right there, but it doesn't really matter. Jacksonville. I mean, obviously the big news. Trevor Lawrence, right?
Did you see that?
Yes.
That was, I was sitting on the couch. That hurt my fat ass sitting on the couch. He got stepped on by his offensive tackle, and then, Hendrickson came across his body and bent him back. Oh, I can't believe the dude stood up.
Did you see Trey Hendrickson after the play?
Yeah,
Tried to help him up.
Yeah, he knew.
He's like, be good. You're all right. Be good. And then T-Law goes down. Hendrickson immediately goes down, takes his helmet off, and starts praying for him or something.
Yeah.
That means Trey Hendrickson is a great dude. A really fucking good dude is what that means about Trey Hendrickson. But, obviously,
if it's a high ankle sprain, I'll be
4-week injury. It's a fucking 4-week injury, Dan. There's no way.
It looked bad.
They haven't ruled him out for this game, but there's no way that Trevor Lawrence is playing in Cleveland. No.
If he plays, then you got to question the front office in Jacksonville. You
got to see how their backup quarterback C.J. Beathard plays. Hopefully, you can limp to get into playoffs and get T-Law back because they're a dangerous football team with Trevor Lawrence at quarterback.
Actually, Beathard did not play bad. I think he was 9 of 10 when he came in.
Yeah, it's not Trevor Lawrence, but I get it. Jacksonville's defense was fucking awful in Cincinnati.
They were awful.
It was awful.
They were bad.
It was really bad. So, I don't know. And then we got the football Browns.
Our defense has been awful, too.
That was a tough West Coast swing for your team. They lost 2 in a row. They stayed out there. They were in the game in the first half, and they got throttled pretty good in the second half by the
They got throttled after that. It was 20-19.
Where's that defense, Dan?
We haven't had a sack in 2 weeks. 2 freaking weeks. You 2 old men quarterback, and we don't have a sack.
Miles, are you watching the show? Miles Garrett, are you what? Miles Garrett, dialing Miles Garrett. Where are you at?
I don't care. Anybody. Not even anybody. Because, you know what? We're not going to get a sack. We don't get 2 weeks in a row. We have no sacks. And then the Bears are going to come into town, and someone's going to get 9 sacks.
That's next week.
We're padding the stats, and everybody looks like
great. We'll see about that.
But when it's needed, you don't come through. So, it's bullshit. All these freaking records and stack leader, my ass. You didn't show up when you needed to. I'm disappointed in the defense.
The Browns are currently the 6th seed if the tournament started today. They're one of those bunched up teams at 7-5. They're -3. I'll take the lead even though it's Dan's football team. There's no way that I'm taking a backup quarterback going into Cleveland. No way. Yeah, Browns -3, and it's a candidate for elephant pick for me. I picked him more times than I would like. I think this year. What? Let's talk about this. You were impressed by him?
Yeah, he's got a freaking cannon of an arm.
What? Really?
Dude, we haven't outthrown. He had 20 passes over 10 yards. We haven't done that for 5 years. There was a stat.
Over 10 yards? Like dink and dunk, dink and dunk at all
passes. 20 passes in a game over 10 yards.
Oh, at least he's pushing the ball downfield more than what we've seen in Cleveland, I guess is what Dan's saying. Did you declare already? I'm assuming you're on the Browns -3.
Yeah, I'm on the Browns.
All right, Dan and I both agree on that. Next game on the board, the Carolina Panthers travel to play the New Orleans Saints. Carolina 1-11. That's awesome. Fucking love their record. New Orleans Saints are 5-7. The Saints are
The Carolina Bears.
right. The Saints are -5.5 in this game. Carolina, they come off with their loss in Tampa Bay, where they were game. I mean, they lost the game by 3 fucking points.
They're such a who's their coach?
Official,
I don't even know.
nobody knows. They're officially eliminated. They're the first team or only team that's officially eliminated from the postseason at this point in time with their 1-11 record. I mean, they have a different coach. Dan mentioned it, same shit. I mean, different coach, same problems.
I could have told you.
More
they were
money, more
eliminated
problems.
Freaking 3 weeks ago.
More money, more problems. Yeah, offensive line problems. Bryce Young, I don't know. He played okay. He made a play at the end that got him in a chance to, be competitive in that football game or maybe win, I guess. But, it's the same story. I mean, bad offensive line, lack of playmakers, etc. Not the way you build a football team by trading the entire cupboard full of fucking groceries so you can have a quarterback, which you're going to make fail when you have nobody around him. But
Exactly.
that's not the way to go. I think we've learned that a few different times over. History does repeat itself at times. Then we got the New Orleans Saints. They come off with their loss at home against Detroit, where they were down big. They were down 21-0 in that game. They fought all the way back to square the game. They lose at the end. Yeah, Derek Carr got hurt, but I don't think that's such a bad idea. Change something up. It hasn't been great in New Orleans. Jameis wasn't great when he came in for the. I don't know when he came in that game.
Jameis, whatever.
Right, Taysom Hill's banged up too. He has a hand injury or something. I don't know. -5.5 New Orleans Saints, Dan.
I got to go with the Saints on this. I mean, Carolina they're awful.
How do you possibly pick the Carolina Panthers, right?
Yeah.
And, the New Orleans Saints, they have a ton to play for. I mean, once again, they're 5-7. They're 2 games below
they're still in
500.
there.
But they're one game. They're one win away from being in first fucking place and being the 4th seed in the tournament.
Yeah. Someone's getting a bonus if they make it.
Either they go 5-8 or they go 6-7, and potentially they're the 4th seed in the tournament.
Yeah.
That's a big swing. That's a huge fucking pendulum swing. All right, more of these games, these teams with these AFC records that are at 7-5, and that's the Houston Texans traveling to play the New York Jets. Texans 7-5. I mentioned it just a second ago. The Jets are 4-8. Texans are 6-point favorites on the road.
I'm telling you, that Cleveland-Houston game is going to be a
When's
huge
that?
game.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Coming up. It's in December.
Flex that bitch to Sunday Night Football.
I think that's the game after the Bears.
Oh,
when we
beautiful.
play the Bears next.
I bet it gets flexed.
That game could be really big.
I bet it gets flexed to Sunday night. Oh, dude, and there's all kinds of storylines. Not only may they have the exact same records and, hey, winner's going to take the big leg up in regards to getting into the playoffs and the other's out type of thing. But you got C.J. Stroud coming back to Ohio. There's a lot of storylines to work with here.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of that game getting flexed. But Houston comes off a huge win against Denver. They led the whole way. And then at the very end, Denver's there at the goal line or inside the 10-yard line. It didn't happen. And
Yeah.
Russ throws a pick at the end when he was pressured. He had to throw the ball up. It wasn't exactly, he had to throw the ball. He had no choice. But anyway, Houston wins this football game. They had a big loss. Tank Dell, their, I want to say, like 3rd or 5th round pick out of the University of Houston. He's been a huge playmaker for them. He's a guy who kind of takes
receiver.
Yeah, he takes the top off the defense. He's a speedster. He is out for the year. He fractured his ankle on a goal line play. Was barely involved in the play. I think an offensive lineman fell on him or whatever. Fractured his ankle. So that's a big loss for them.
Huge.
Tank Dell. I'm looking him up. He's 5'8". Fucking 5'8". That's that's diminutive for a football player, if you will. Anyway, they're right there in that mix. So we'll see. They're out right now. They're not in the playoffs right now. If the season ended today, it does not. And then you got the New York Jets. Jets 4-8. They were losers at home against Atlanta. Tim Boyle, I think, started that game. He's no longer on the football team. That's how bad the quarterback situation is. They're back to Zach Wilson, but then did you see the report? I don't really know how to play. We're so shitty. Yeah, I might have something else to do on Sunday.
They're a mess.
I might have private plans on Sunday. I'm not sure I can play quarterback for you guys.
Babysitting someone's kids.
What the fuck? Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, Cougar talk going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, does he want to play? I don't know, man. They're just so bad on offense.
Do you blame him, though?
That's a mess.
They're like, yeah, we're done with you. No, okay, we need you back.
Right. I mean, you get relegated to third string or inactive, and then, okay, now, hey, can you come play with us? Yeah, I mean, nothing's going well. We'll see about Robert
They're a
Saleh.
mess.
Maybe they might go in a completely different direction. I mean, that's a surprise head coaching vacancy that may happen. Robert Saleh may be out there. I don't know. We'll see. That's always fun. Black Friday, I think it is after the football season. Black Sunday, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, is Houston going to win by 6? I mean, the Jets do have a good defense. We know that. It's a pretty good number on the road. Pretty big number.
But, no, I'm going with Houston.
Me too.
I can't. I mean, even though the Jets' defense is good, they'd be like, wait, what? We're going back to this guy? This guy again?
Zach Wilson's a way better option than what Tim Boyle was. I know it's been, but yeah, I don't. Fuck.
But why would you bench him?
Fuck
then?
it. Houston needs to win this game.
I mean, now am I questioning the coach or Zach Wilson?
Right. I get it. Houston has a ton to play for. That's a motivating factor for me. I'm going to lay it with
how much of this is Hackett?
No,
We
dude,
saw how successful Hackett was in Denver.
Dan, he got 3 snaps with Aaron Rodgers. Then you
This
have.
doesn't matter. Okay, so what? So you're dealt those cards. Coach the shit you got.
Dude, that's like playing euchre and getting dealt 5 fucking 9s,
Dude,
Dan.
my Pee Wee team had injuries and we still won games. What the
Fuck.
fuck? I mean, you got to coach what you got. We had 2 subs for freaking 2 games.
Zach Wilson,
and we won.
Zach Wilson played 1 good game, maybe 2 good games. I don't know. I mean, remember that week when we're like, Zach's back?
Yeah, I'm like,
he was
okay, he looked like a quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
Where did that go? What happened?
Hackett messed him up. Hackett hacked him up.
Dan's blame on Hackett. I don't think I disagree. I don't think I agree with that.
I'm going by his track record. Okay, in Green Bay, it was all Aaron Rodgers show. And then he goes to Denver, and we saw what happened there.
Russ, he washed Russ out.
And then
Russ
he goes
playing better all
over
of a
to
sudden.
New Jersey thinking, oh, my career's resurrected, and I got Aaron again, and now Aaron's gone. And
Holy hell, Dan's hating on Nathaniel Hackett for like really no reason.
I'm not hating on him. I'm just pointing out his track record.
Yeah.
Coach the people you got.
I tell you what, if you're an offensive coordinator and you have a great quarterback, you look like a stud.
Okay, look at the Browns. We're on quarterback number 4.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ugly. It's ugly. And
We've adjusted.
Jim Schwartz needs to get that team going, man.
Yeah, he needs to fix that shit.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed in that side of the ball.
I'm sure he's fucking fuming because he's like a fucking hothead, fired up dude. I don't know. He's gonna fix that.
I'm freaking fuming, so he should be.
Oh, dude, he's losing his shit. Sunday, 4 p.m. slate starts with the Minnesota Vikings traveling to play the Las Vegas Raiders. Minnesota field goal favorites, 3-point favorites in this football game. They are 6-6. They come off bye. Also, the Vegas Raiders come off bye as well. They're 5-7. Currently at 6-6, the Minnesota Vikings own the 6th seed in the tournament. 4-way logjam at 6-6. That includes obviously 3 other teams. We may see a quarterback change though, because last time we saw Minnesota, it was against the Bears on Monday Night Football, and the Pastronaut looked like the astronaut. And when I say astronaut, I'm going to add an extra S in front of it. So it was not good. It was not good at all. The Bears got 2 or 3 picks, I think. In any event, we may see a quarterback change there, but I don't know who the quarterback change is. Nick Mullins? I really don't think that's going to happen, but I've heard some like rumors about
He
that.
was on the Browns for a while.
Mullins?
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota's got to stop.
Wait, didn't he play for the 49ers too? Didn't he play a game for the
Yes.
49ers?
Also, in that movie, The Heat, Mullins, that movie with Sandra Bullock and who's that other lady I love? Like the thicker chicker lady, like The Heat. You know, they're like these 2 like female cops, and they really, you don't know that movie?
No,
Oh my
I'm
God.
surprised you know that movie. I mean,
I
you're not a
know.
movie kind of guy, and you're throwing a movie at me, and I'm
I
going,
know.
wait, Sandra Bullock and
Her name was Mullins. Her. Anyway, my wife would know. She'd be laughing if she was behind scenes. She's not.
What made you watch that movie, and you haven't seen A Christmas Story yet?
If you have not seen The Heat, Sandra Bullock, and what is her name? I love her as an actress. And then these people trying to stop like crime problems in Boston or something like that, and they're trying to stop this drug dealer thing.
Is it a comedian?
Yeah, it's a comedy more than anything. You gotta watch it. It's so fucking funny. It's not Sandra Bullock. It's whoever the person, McCarthy. What is her name? Something McCarthy. Hell, I don't know. Spent a lot of time on this, but her character name is Mullins. Yikes! You gotta watch it anyway. Spent too much time on that for sure.
I'm on a blank.
We are still on Minnesota -3 in this game in Vegas. I mean, this is Antonio Pierce. He's been the head coach there for a while. His audition continues. They played better, but whatever. You know, they're playing that Aiden O'Connell kid at quarterback, and you know, it is what it is. Minnesota is in this conversation in regards to, obviously they're the 6th seed. They have a ton to play for, but are they gonna outplay the Raiders here?
Both coming off a bye.
Both well rested.
Yeah, there's nothing to do in Minnesota. Those Vegas guys party.
So that means you're on the Vikings -3? On the road. I'm going to take the points on the road. I'm on the Vegas Raiders. I don't know if that's only the second time Dan are at odds or not. I think it is. 2 times the odds. I'm on the Vegas Raiders getting the home points. I think this is a field goal game going either way. Who knows who gets it?
Here come the good games.
Yes, sir. I don't think this one's next, but the next one we're going to talk about is a great game. But after that, we got a couple of really, really good football games. Seattle and San Francisco. Division game. 49ers, 10.5-point favorites in this game. Seattle 6-6 on the season. San Francisco's 9-3. This is the second time we've seen this game in 3 weeks. It was Thanksgiving, game, now this game again. Seattle, they're losing to 3 straight.
Beat down on Thanksgiving.
It was an absolute in Seattle as well.
Yeah,
Dan.
that ain't gonna happen again. 10.5 is too big of a number.
Seattle's defense is really struggling. Like, it's fucking broke, Dan.
Yeah.
Like, the defense did not play well. I mean, their offense played really well on Thursday. They had a little, like, kind of the mini bye. They played Thursday in Dallas, and we both picked Dallas to, like, just destroy them. They did not. I mean, Seattle was game on offense, but they couldn't stop the Dallas offense. Their defense isn't playing well. And then you got San Francisco. How about that shit? In Philadelphia, they emphatically said that when we're healthy, we're the best fucking team in the National Football League. Say something else. And I can't disagree. When healthy, that's the best. Dude, I was watching that game. I know Dan was watching his Cleveland Brown football game. Holy hell, was that a fucking good game to watch. I mean, I understand the final score, but damn, these teams don't like each other.
Well, fucking the security guard got thrown out.
Fuck yeah. Dom DeSandro, whatever his name is, he gets involved. By all accounts, he's a really good guy, and obviously he got escorted off, as well as Dre Greenlaw for the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, it was chippy. Those teams were not having any type of monkey business between each other. I mean, wow, was that fun to watch? I love shit like that. But San Francisco put an exclamation point on that shit and said, we're the best team in football. Somebody say something different. They're minus 10.5 in this game. I think Dan says it's too big of a number. I don't know.
Too big.
Dan's on the Seahawks getting the 10.5. I'm going the other way. I'm going to lay it all. I know that's a really big number in the National Football League. But I don't see how Seattle's defense is going to come anywhere close to stopping this Brock Purdy offense. Maybe they get the backdoor touchdown. Maybe Dan's right. But I'm going to lay the whole nut at 10.5. I'm on the 49ers. Dan's on the Seahawks. We got a great football game in the 4 o'clock window. It is the Buffalo Bills traveling to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites in this game. Buffalo comes off bye with their 6-6 record. Kansas City is at 8-4. Oakley's back on the scene here. I'm not sure why he's rambunctious and came in here, but
he was stretching out.
Like, where the hell's Mom? Yeah. Where the hell's Mom? I get it, Oak. She'll be back in like 2 hours. You're screwed. Anyway, Kansas City just short of field goal favorite in this game. 2.5-point favorites. Buffalo. They're off bye, right? Dude, Dan, they have to win one of these next 2 games. They play in Kansas City, but you know what happens next? They travel to play Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to find a way to split these games. I'm sure that the screen's shaking right now. Oakley just jumped in his dog bed underneath there. He's like, where's the heavy cream? I want one of those shots. I don't know what he's doing right now. But, I mean, their season's on the brink, Dan. And they're a good football team. I mean, 6-6 is
They fired their offensive coordinator. The defense, Leslie Frazier, nobody knows what happened to him. He mysteriously is gone this year.
Right.
McDermott's calling the defense. It's all on McDermott. I'm telling he show up or he's out. I'm telling you.
Do you watch Sunday Night Football, Dan?
Sunday?
Sunday Night Football. Kansas City's lost in Green Bay.
Yeah. They look
Right.
like shit.
Right. I mean, I tell you what, I don't trust either of these teams right now.
No.
And the offense, I mean, 15, meaning Patrick Mahomes looks mortal. He looked like a superhero for like the last 4 or 5 years. He looks mortal to me. He looks like he lost his fucking cape. He's not wearing his cape anymore like Superman. I don't know. I'll take the lead on the game. I think Buffalo goes into Kansas City because their season's on the line, and they have more to play for. I think they win this football game in Kansas City.
You think?
I do.
Buffalo?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Kansas City never covers. How many times do I
It's
say
only
that?
2.5. Dan. It's
I
less
know,
than a
it's
field
only
goal
2.5.
home. When's the last time Kansas City's only been a 2.5-point favorite at home?
At home. Yeah.
When's it been less than a field goal ever? Like in the last like half decade.
Yeah. Since Mahomes has been there.
Correct.
I mean, when was the last time they lost at home?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they have a very good sparkling record, I'm sure, at home. I know they do that as well. I don't know. You're leaning that way.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City on this. They got embarrassed by Green Bay. They had no reason to lose that game.
Sure, T Swift to be in the house. It doesn't seem to make
Yeah.
that much difference. She was in Green Bay. Travis Kelce didn't do shit. I'm on the Buffalo Bills because their season is on the line. Next game on the board, divisional game, Denver and the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers 3-point favorites at home. Denver 6-6. Chargers are 5-7. Deflating loss for the Denver Broncos in Houston, where they were down the whole game, but they had a chance at the end, and it didn't shake. It didn't happen. They pulled themselves off the mat and put themselves in this mix in regards to, I mean, they got a ton to play for. And then you got the Chargers who, I mean, they're still alive, but like barely breathing. They're like on a fucking ventilator, type of thing. Chargers -5. I mean, and here's the thing.
-3.
Yeah. Is that what I said? What did I say? 5?
5.
My apologies. Dan's 100% right. They're a field goal favorite, -3. I mean, the Chargers. They,
6 points.
In New England.
I'm just, yeah.
in New England.
Just-
6
I'm like,
fucking
wait,
points?
what?
I know New England's defense is pretty good, but 6 fucking
6?
points?
I
Really?
mean, the Chargers' offense is supposed to be good. They're supposed
Right.
to have this great quarterback. At 6? You did 6?
The line was 5.5. I squeaked by. I had a good week, man. I had a good week betting wise, by the way. Anyway, Chargers -3 against Denver.
I got to go with Denver on this one. I mean, Denver's been playing some good ball lately, even though I hate them. They've been playing good ball. And the Chargers, I don't know.
I have no idea why I think the Chargers are a better football team, but I do.
They are a better football team, but they don't play like it.
And they're only -3 at home. I'm laying it. I'm laying it that they show like their talent and that they win the game by a field goal. Maybe we push this game out. Maybe they win by more. I'm on the Chargers. Dan and I are in disagreement again. That's 3 games in a row. Dan and I are in disagreement. I think that makes it 4 or 5 on the
You
board
picked
total.
San Francisco?
I did. I laid the points with San Francisco. That's 3 in a row. What are the other ones? I might as well recap this a little bit. I think I took Cincinnati. You took Indy.
I took Indy.
And that's it. So maybe we only have 4 games different at this point in time. Did you take Minnesota, Seattle, Buffalo? That's 4 games in a row. You took Minnesota in Vegas. So I 4 games in a row. Dan and I disagree on. That's a new one for the show for sure this year. Dan and I kind of been on the same page a lot. That's why our records are similar. I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's still 2 games above me. In any event, I like that we both have very positive records. At odds again, I'm on the Chargers, Dan's on the Broncos. Sunday Night Football. What a great fucking game this is. The
To see the
Philadelphia.
Cowboys again.
You talk about teams who don't like each other. Here we go. Philadelphia Eagles travel to Big D to play the Dallas Cowboys. I'll get the line out there immediately. The Cowboys -3.5 in this football game. Philly 10-2. The Dallas Cowboys are 9-3. The winner takes over first place in this division. I didn't think we'd hear it or see it, but the Dallas Cowboys come out of the wild card conversation and go into the division leader conversation if they win this football game in Dallas. Philadelphia, we talked about them just a minute ago. That home loss against San Francisco. They got the opening points, and then they got blown the fuck out, kind of. They got overmatched by that really good San Francisco team. Not that this Philadelphia Eagle team isn't good. I mean, they're a damn good football team. I feel like they have some defensive issues lately. They need to get that edge back on defense and play with more
Yeah,
of a swag, if you will.
They're playing a little different. They're not. It's not the same
Doesn't look
team.
great.
I think they're kind of coasting a little bit, maybe.
Do you see that touchdown? That you probably didn't see it because I know the Browns game. Like they ran that fucking brotherly shove, tush push, whatever you want to call it, from like the 2-yard line in San Francisco against San Francisco against a fucking badass defense, and like Jalen Hurts like stepping over people out, like didn't even go to the ground. Like how the fuck does this team run that play so well? Nobody else can run it very well at all in the National Football League. Anyway, I don't know what I'm really talking about, but I think Philadelphia has some defensive issues.
I told you how to stop it. Lay down.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work either, man. I understand the theory.
Lay
Might as well
down.
try it because nobody else seems to be able to stop it against them. I mean, they're a solid football
Lay
team.
down, and when they snap the ball, stand up.
Let's talk about Dallas. Thursday night, so they got a little bit of extra rest. They won against Seattle. It wasn't tremendously impressive, at least on the defensive side of the ball. The offense continues
Wait,
to hump.
they haven't played since Thanksgiving?
No. Well, that wasn't Thanksgiving. It was last Thursday night.
Oh, no, I'm thinking, no, this.
Last Thursday night against
Yeah.
Seattle. And they led the majority of the way, but Seattle was there. I mean, they were in the game, like almost the entire football game. Their offense continues to play well. Prescott continues to play well. The defense, they struggled a little bit. Dallas 6-0 at home this year. This is a home football game. Dallas minus 3.5. It's
Taking
above
the
a field
home
goal.
team.
Big D.
Taking them, yeah.
How about them Cowboys? They and I are back on the same page. I mean, they've been humming on offense, man, and that defense can rear its head. I mean, they got Micah Parsons, who may be the defensive player of the year in the National Football League, and they have another candidate. That kid who's returned 6 balls for interception touchdowns, pick sixes as they call them in the National Football League. They got some playmakers on that side as well. I can't wait to watch that football game. These teams don't like each other. I think it's going to be chippy. Dan and I are both on the Cowboys minus 3.5. All right, we are on to the Tennessee
There was
Miami
a
game.
hiccup in the show.
There was. I ran out of disk space. Disk space is what really happened. So we got 2 snippets of the show. My people, my awesome IT people, Jess Pieri. I never mentioned her on the show. She's a huge help for me. She puts the thumbnail up. She does a lot for me. I appreciate her tremendously. Anyway, we're going to smash these 2 little shows together because we ran out of disk space at the 54-minute mark, which means we had 2 games to talk about.
Well, yeah, well, we got the Tennessee-Miami.
We didn't get it in, and that's the in-laws game, and Tom watched the show.
That's fine.
Tennessee, Miami, we're
We
going
were
to talk
both
about
on
this.
Miami.
Hey, why are you like burying it? Or,
What do you mean? Let's go.
No.
Finish the show.
They didn't know. Tennessee,
We don't need
Miami.
another friggin' 20 minutes to add to our
We're not.
50-minute show.
Tennessee comes off that home loss against. Well, hold on. We're all mixed up
We
here.
already heard that. We were looking up Van Ginkel.
Yeah, I know, but
Should we look him up again?
Dan, no, we're not. But she's gonna cut the show right when we go to the Tennessee Miami game since we never got through it. But anyway.
She's that good.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not a problem.
So we're starting over
You
at
just kind of messed
Tennessee.
the whole shit up. But anyway,
I
Tennessee,
messed it up.
no. Oh my God. Okay, this is messy. Tennessee 4-8. They travel to South Florida to play the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins 13-point favorites in this football game. Tennessee 4-8 on the year. They come off of that home loss against Indy, where they hadn't lost all year. And they had control of the game, and then they didn't. The game went to overtime. They won the coin toss. They got a field goal, but Indy with Gardner Minshew is kind of like a wild card player, man. You know, mixed bag. Yeah, he does a little shimmy. I like that. I mean, he can make big mistakes. He can make big plays. He made a big play at the end. They won that football game. They're one of these teams. Oh, Tennessee's not one of these teams. Indy's one of those teams. But anyway, I don't know why we're talking. Jeez, I'm really
Yeah, I don't know what
confused
the
right
hell you're doing. We're talking about Tennessee.
we are. Miami, I'm a little bit confused here now with the way we had to mix the show. But anyway, it's okay. Miami, minus 13 in this game. They come off of that win on the road against Washington. The Ferrari offense, came out to play. And I mentioned, I know, in the
Team under 500. The Ferrari's always out.
yeah, had the windshield wipers on. It was rainy. It was wet there, but they had no problems. Tyreek Hill, best prop bet in the National Football League. Him and McCaffrey bet him every week to score a touchdown. Offense showed on the road. Their defense continues to play pretty well. I mean, they lost Jalen Phillips. I mentioned it. I love that Van Ginkel kid, and I'm not going to do that Alexa thing because I did it on the previous majority of the show, if you will, and it didn't work very well. But Miami minus 13 in this football game, Dan. They going to blow them out?
Yep.
I agree. I mean, they're a really good football team. They currently are the 1 seed. If the tournament started today, we'll see if they can hold on to it. We're both on Miami minus 13. I don't know if I mentioned. As we smash these shows together, 2 Monday Night Football games that start back to back. Tom, viewing. You are on ESPN for the Miami football game.
Not NFL Network.
The other, just weird quirk in the schedule. It starts at the exact same time. The other Monday Night Football game is on ABC, and it's the Green Bay Packers traveling to play the New York Giants. Packers are 6.5-point favorites on the road in New York in the Meadowlands, and Green Bay at 6-6. They currently hold the 7th seed in that playoffs. Come off an impressive Sunday night win at home against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of them.
Jordan Love has looked really good for the past month. And they kind of look like a playoff team to me all of a sudden. They got it certainly going in the right direction. Then the Giants.
Has Jordan Love looked good, or has LaFleur? Isn't that his name?
Nah, it goes hand in hand, man. You don't win without the chess piece of quarterback playing well. And the New York Giants come off by. Speaking of quarterback problems, who's the quarterback?
DeVito. Tommy.
Tommy DeVito.
From Jersey. Tommy.
Yeah. His uncle Danny DeVito.
That's
not true.
Dan. Jersey Mike's. He's related to Jersey. Jersey Mike's commercial.
I did see where Tyrod Taylor is practicing this week, but I don't think you can take that gig away from DeVito. He played pretty well.
Tyrod Taylor's not going to be able to get to the game because, some Jersey people are going to flatten his tires. He's going to make it.
We're not going to do it again.
It's going to be delayed.
Dan and I were laughing. We were talking about Danny DeVito, and Dan said he's 5 foot tall, and I asked Alexa, and she said, what?
4'8".
4'9". Dude,
4'9", whatever. 8'9", whatever.
It happened like 8 minutes ago.
Alexa exaggerates.
It happened like 8 minutes ago.
Come on.
Anyway, Dan.
She'd probably say that I was 250.
Packers minus 6.5 on the road.
I don't know. I can't remember who I picked.
I do.
Yeah, I do too. No, I don't know. I got to go with the DeVito thing.
Oh my God, he 100% changed.
Hey, now that this is recorded, yeah.
The lost disc space last 8 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
He picked the Packers, but I picked the Giants and the legend of DeVito. I think the Packers 100% win this football game.
I give 2 shits on this game, honestly.
They have all kinds of reason to play. Once again, they're in the tournament at start of the day as the last seed.
Who, the Packers?
Yes.
You're on the Packers?
No, I'm not on the Packers, but they have, all I'm saying is they have all kinds of momentum and reasons to play really hard. But then, I like the legend of Tommy DeVito and keeping this game close. I think the Packers 100% win the game. I don't think it's by a touchdown. So I'm on, Dan and I both on the Giants getting the points.
Yeah, I'll take the Giants.
All right. Buys this week, Arizona, Washington, on to the best bets.
Tony Soprano's going to be there watching.
On the best bets, elephant picks for the game. Dan.
Cleveland.
And we went together, and I'm like, man, I surveyed the board, I did, and I ended up going Cleveland as well. They're a field goal favorite at home against a backup quarterback. I like that defense still. I know it hasn't played up to its potential or how it was playing earlier in the year, the last 2 weeks, but I expect them to bounce back. I like the Cleveland Browns as my best bet, only giving a field goal home as well. That's it. Dan and I talked about Bowl Week. It doesn't start for another week. We got the pageantry of Army-Navy. I think it was mentioned in the intro that it's the only college football I think you're going to see this week. Next week, we'll have a guest picker. It is Davis Stanley, one of my son Keaton's good friends. He loves the show. I told my wife that Davis wanted to be on the show. He's back from Christmas break or after finals or whatever it is. And she started immediately talking about the beer review. I'm like, I don't know, man. You're on the show. You're supposed to do the beer review. Matt Stanley, that's his dad. I saw him at Giant Eagle this week. You might have to come. I already have the beer picked out for next week. It's pretty heavy. I want to say it's 11%. Anyway, so that's been this week. I appreciate you guys watching, listening. We'll be back next week at our normal date again on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Jess will smash us together. We'll be great. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening.